All right, hello guys, welcome back. And in this particular video, we are going to be introducing you to the C language as well as writing our first line of code using C. All right, first, before we jump right in, let's get some fast traits. C, what is C and why are we writing, why are we programming in C? C is probably the most widely known programming language, and it was invented or developed by Dennis Ritchie and Ken Thompson, and is widely used in embedded devices, and its power is most of the internet servers which are built using Linux, right? And you should know that C is a compiled programming language, and like Go, Java, Swift, or Rust, all these are compiled language, or like Python, which is an interpreted language. Okay, a compiled language generates a binary file that can be directly executed and distributed. So in this particular video, we are going to be introducing you to C and write our first line of code. I'm using code blocks text editor. Why my choice of text? Why using code blocks? Code blocks is an IDE that uses color tests like to highlight source codes, offer line numbers. Like if you look at this program, you see how beautiful is aligned, and it helps you collapse and expand codes of blocks to help keep things organized. That is why I choose code block. So a little dive into what we are looking at today: writing code in C. C creates content file. So C is a compiled programming language, like I said earlier, and the compiled language generates a binary file that can be directly executed and distributed. So the content of the text file in the programming language uses the language rules, syntax, as well as formatting. So for C source code files, the text name ends with a .c file extension. I think that is something you want to really keep at the back of your mind as we go on with this video, with this training. The source code is then compiled into object code by a compiler. That is why it's a compiled language. And the C language is compiled, which is different from Python, which is an interpreted language. The compiler reads the source code and generates the object code, and the object code ends with a .o file extension. So there is a lot to learn about C, but for the sake of this video, I'll just continue and we jump right in to write our first line of code, and I will explain each line of the code. Are you ready? Let's dive right in. First, I'll just go on and write this basic C code. The first I'm going to do, I will include stdio.h, and then I'll go on to, please never worry, after the code I'm going to explain each line. I'm going to include add my comment, and to do that, just going to use this symbol and multi-line comment rather, and I'll have main. I'll just add some comments. Then, oh, sorry, I'm supposed to have an asterisk here. Then I'll go on to write this other line of my comment. Return 0 success, and then I'll go on to write write the program and the function. I'm not passing any argument, so it's void. Then I'll go on to printf hello world. Then I'll add a new line. And lastly, I'll return 0. All right. Yeah, this is it. This is just a simple basic C program that returns this printf here. All right. So I'm going to take my time to actually explain what is happening here. Okay, why I have what I have here. This is the header file. Then we have the comment section. Okay, let me go ahead and save this. Okay, sorry, I'll need to end this here. All right, so this is the comment section, and this is our function, all right, which is the main program. So why do we have all of this? Here I included the standard input output .h header file. So why this? Why included this? This is a preprocessor directive that includes the standard input-output library in a C program. For this, I'm talking about this stdio.h. So, and it includes declarations for standard input-output function. Examples of such functions include the printf function, like the one we use here. Others include the scanf function, the getChar function, and the putChar function. So all of these, when you are using them in your program, you have to include this declaration, which is standard input output.h. I believe that makes some sense to you. Don't worry, in a subsequent video, I'm going to take my time to dive deeper into that. Then we have the comment section. So for this comment section, for a standard C program, you ought to have a comment section which is for documentation, and we use a multi-line comment here. This is a multi-line comment. You can have a single line comment, and to add a single line comment, you just use your double slash, and if you write anything there, it's not going to be read by the compiler. It's not going to be compiled by the compiler. So this comment, it doesn't add anything. It's just for documentation. It's not compiled when this program is run. It's not compiled. So after that, you have our main program, right, which starts from here. So here we have our function name is main, right? This is the main. The function name is main, and this main is returning an integer data type. I'll have a separate video where we explain data type. We have integer, we have float data type, we have character data type, we have pointers, we have long, and the rest of them. So this program, this function is going to return an integer data type, and we are putting void here because we are not passing any argument to this parameter. Take note that if I remove this void and leave this bracket the same way, just empty, is going to return the same thing. So they mean the same thing actually. So after that, open my curly braces. I'll use a printf function which was declared in the standard input output.h library header file. Then I'm printing what? I'm printing hello world to the console. So and again you see a slash n here, which means we are printing. After printing, we want to display, we want the console to enter a new line. That is why we entered it. So what is this return 0 doing here? For this return 0, it is a standard way of showing that we have successfully executed our program. So if it is returning a 0, it shows that a program has been successfully executed. Like what we have here, this main shows that this is the program entry point. And after running this program, when it's being compiled, it's when it returns 0, it shows that the program is successfully executed. But take note that I can do without this, and the program still run fine. Why? Because the compiler will assume that since I'm not returning any value, right? Since I didn't include any return value in my program, it will automatically include the return 0, even if I did not include that. All right. So I believe that this makes some sense to you. So I will just go ahead and save this and save what I have, and I will build and run. Right. I'll go ahead and build and run. Okay. Oh, sorry, we need to put a semicolon here, right? So I'll save again and build and run. All right. So you see, our program ran successfully. And if you notice, there is a space here. There is a space after hello world. You have an empty space here, which means that the compiler left a line. The console entered a new line. But if I come back here and remove this new line, if I remove this, you'll see. And again, if I come back, like I told you earlier, I can remove this void and just leave the bracket empty, and the program is still going to run. So if I save this time, if I go on and save and I build and run, you see, if you notice here, there is, after this hello world is being printed to the console, there is no space here again because we didn't add that the compiler should leave a new line. All right. And again, we used in the bracket, we did not add anything. We didn't write void or any argument at all. So it printed again. And again, I'm telling you that I can remove this return 0. I can do away with this, and the program will still run fine. Let's see how it goes. If I save, build and run, you see, it worked. Why? Because the compiler, let's say at the back end, added return 0 because I didn't signify any return value for this program. So thank you. This is your first program. If you run yours successfully and it works, let me know in the comment section, as we see again in other subsequent videos where we learn about C programming language. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Happy coding.